When I reviewed the Combiner Wars Technobot set back in, what would it be, 1970, they boiled down to a fairly set of uninspired individual bots that combine to make the smartest and perhaps the prettiest of the Autobot combiners, Computron. The question is, do their Generation 1 counterparts manage to step out of Computron's admittedly large shadow and live their lives as singular beings? See, that's what we call in the YouTube industry a hook, which means if you stick around for even 1 second after this, I tricked you. Don't like it? Leave a comment. Hate it? Stick it to me by subscribing. So the Technobots, the group who combine into the Supreme Intelligence, who are they? Why are they knocking on our doors every single night, desperate for love? Scattershot is the group leader, a brash but committed warrior who doesn't exactly reflect the group's supposed commitment to book smarts. Strafe is a nervous type who shoots at the merest hint of a threat, making him a dangerous opponent and comrade. Nosecone is a meticulous, calculated bot and is one of the only Technobots who contributes a positive trait to Computron. Lightspeed is a clever clogs with low self-esteem, and I see a lot of you nodding in recognition here. Well, look, let me put your worries aside. You're not that clever. Afterburner rounds things out as a hot-headed rebel, an arsehole by all accounts, and I see a lot of you nodding in recognition here. So that's the team. Let's have a look at them individually and review them for my YouTube channel. Now, I should say before we start, this is a knockoff set because despite how I may look and act, I'm not made of money. Like my G1 Terracons review, the differences are negligible and the quality is surprisingly great, so shut it. Look at Strafe here, standing all nice with their heat ray rifle. Like all the Technobots, they've got a distinct futuristic motif and colour schemes to die for. The standard combiner limb articulation in the arms, but they're full of personality. Getting into their rocket plane mode is a case of spinning around the torso and collapsing the legs before attaching the two light pulse blasters. A great wee spaceship mode, a little bit Star Wars snowspeeder about it, you know? Nosecone is a boxy little nugget with a beautiful brown, white, and yellow colour scheme. Extra points for a red face, even if this one has seen better days, or possibly a hammer. Holding their X-ray laser pistol, Nosecone can see your underwear. Nosecone's arms are on this weird hinge, so you have to fold those around rather than just having them by his sides. Flip in the legs, cover his noggin with the drill, and we have this great little excavation vehicle. There's two rocket-propelled missiles you can also add, which must be handy in a confined space like a tunnel. Lightspeed was exceptionally generic in the Combiner Wars set, so I'm glad this isn't the case here. If anything, they feel more like a GoBot with that awkward big belly and overhanging backpack. I like it. I think the light burst gun got swapped out in this set for this gun, but I won't let that stop me having a great time, and neither should you. We get to their creatively named Lightspeed car mode by folding up his little feet and spinning the arms around before compacting it all together, and I do love this car mode. It's so sleek and exactly what a Technobot should look like. And we have two infrared missile launchers to attach. I have no idea what they're supposed to do. Last of the little lads, Afterburner is probably the strangest of the bunch. Those wheels at the back really help them stand out. The Sonic Blaster is fairly forgettable, but luckily it's not the only firepower they have. I love this transformation, easily my favourite of the bunch, folding the wheels around and then bringing that backpack over the top, leaving us with this motorcycle mode. And here we attach the pulse cannon and the missiles to either side, and wowee, Afterburner is a mean looking piece of work. Time for the big lad. Scattershot absolutely towers over the other Technobots, as all combiner leaders do, but they just feel so massive in comparison here. This is apparently the biggest giveaway. It's a knockoff set, with the arms and the crotch being a lighter colour plastic, but again, if I'm honest, I appreciate that subtle variance. I do dig Scattershot's big square body and stoic stance. A lot of people will tell you you can make a fairly rude mode using this cannon, but we're above such things at TRDQ, thank you very much. We get all the bits you might need: a Computron head, two fists, two artillery guns that you can slap onto Scattershot's shoulders in robot mode, a chest shield, and a pair of slippers. And let's not forget their acid pellet gun. Who could forget their acid pellet gun? Articulation isn't much better than his wee pals. He kind of has knees. He kind of has decent arm articulation, but it only allows his arms to move in useless directions. He kind of has a waist swivel, but the cannon on his back keeps it in place. But it's a G1 combiner leader, we weren't expecting miracles. But the fun really begins when we transform the guy. Fold these arms into the sides, unclip the cannon and turn the body 90 degrees before swinging up the legs, and we've got this very odd jet mode. It's a weird one for sure. You know, there's landing gear at the front, which definitely helps with balance, and if you fold down the wings, they can rest on these little sculpted wheels, which is nice. There's an attack mode where you can use the chest plate as a base, and you can add an artillery gun on top, and this is a much more stable, dare I say, cooler mode. Finally, there's the rocket launcher mode, where the legs and wings rotate, combining with the chest plate, and as a grim finale, we press the button and whoomph! Hidden gun barrel. How great is that? You can do this in pretty much any mode, but this feels the most appropriate. Scattershot doesn't immediately come across as an all-timer or anything, but the more I played with him, the more I came to appreciate him as one of the better combiner team leaders. There's a lot going on. As I said before, there aren't many Transformers with such a commitment to Burgundy. Alright, now shut up! It's time to get clever by combining these freaks into Computron. Stuff all your unnecessary accessories in a sack and get those little lads into their limb modes and Scattershot into a torso frame of mind. Slap on the fists, the feet, and the helmet, and there we have it, folks. Computron. He looks smart, doesn't he? No? Okay, suit yourself. I do have a real soft spot for this design, especially that po-faced head. Only a nerd like Computron could make sunglasses feel uncool. It's great. They might not quite beat out Defensor as my favourite Autobot combiner, but it's a close call. Definitely better than Superion. Nobody likes them. So now I leave them back on the shelf, doing whatever so-called intellectuals do in their spare time. Something we wouldn't know anything about, eh? Goodbye.